call the February meeting to order. We'll roll call, we're all here, all five of us are present. I want to welcome the staff and the family members and administration and the newspapers, they're out there. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day, and maybe we'll make wise decisions for our school as we go forward. Be with our administrators and our students and protect them from the pandemic, COVID, and just thank you for the grace and mercy you show us each day, and help our schools move forward. In thy name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Proclamations.
That's on you, Ms. Evans.
Thanks, you approve the agenda. Can I get a
Make a
approval of
motion to
agenda?
approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Been motion second to approve the agenda. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we'll start with public participation. Have we got two signed in?
But I'll do it after that.
Oh, you want to do it after that?
No, I'll do it after that.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll do it after that.
I was looking on two different things.
You all right?
Paul, you got the sheet?
I do have the sheet. In the agenda, there are two that were pre-signed in. One with the first request from Dr. Todd Davis, the second with Ms. Edward Fortner, and on the public comment sheet, we have a third that just recently signed on, is a Reverend Brad Corbin. Thank you, sir. For those out there, we're gonna start with,
Ms. Porter is certainly welcome in this building for me.
we'll go with Ms. Fortner.
Okay.
Just a reminder, under our public comments, guys, fortunately, under the policy, you've got 3 minutes. It's not a question and answer, it's sort of a comment. If you do have questions, we'll try to address them at a later date.
I gotcha, I do, can I take this down or do I have to look it up?
You
Take it
can
down.
bring it down a little bit, yeah, that'll be fine.
All right.
Easier for us to hear you.
I do understand, I do have some questions, but they do not need answers. They are simply questions to be considered by the board. To begin with, I want to recap, I was at the district meeting that took place on the 26th, and I just want to clarify some things. Prior to that, on January 29th, I was told that cuts were being made to the 3K and 4K programs. On that date, I called the central office and I emailed Dr. Belcher. To his credit, he did call me back. However, when he called me back, he explicitly said they were cutting the 4K programs to one classroom at Hayes Cooper and one classroom at Bell Academy. And when I asked him why, he said, if you can come up with $1 million, I'll let you have it. But we can't do anything about it. We're in tight budget situation. And then he said, and the 3K is illegal. And he left it at that. There wasn't further explanation. It was just the 3K was legal. It was slightly dismissive, but that is what he told me. And at that point, I tried to find school board member contact information. I found your names. I could not find any numbers. I tracked somebody down on Facebook, but I tried to find email addresses, none of which were available on that date. At that time, I made a posting to call community attention to what was going on for the following reasons. 3K is so incredibly important. We heard at the community meeting that we're losing students, we're hemorrhaging students. That's part of why we're in the financial situation we're in. And part of the reason that the 3K was implemented was in order to stop that hemorrhage. It was in order to keep students in our school district because we have private institutions. We have PDS, we have daycares, we also have Bio Academy, and they are out there marketing their 3K program to get students in. And once they are in those programs, those parents do not want to bring their students out. So you have parents who are going into the private system and we're losing them. We're losing them in our public system. Then you have, so And it's a tuition-based system. I understand that that is being reviewed by the Attorney General's office, and I appreciate that now, but I had to call Jim Keith at the Attorney General's office to get any information on that, to get any clarification on that. I called multiple school districts who have tuition-based programs, and they could not enlighten me. I have a better understanding, but nobody in our school district could explain to me the illegality issue. I felt very dismissed. And then after talking to Mr. Keith, he informed me that it was a more fluid situation. My question for the board that I don't need an answer to, but is, was this something that y'all were aware of from August or when it was first brought up? Or was it just brought to you at the last board meeting and were you just told this is illegal, we've got to scrap it? Or was it presented in a way of this is a concern of ours, which it should have been brought up in August, not in January, but was it brought up then and just said, we gotta scrap it, it's illegal, or was it presented in a way of, this is a valuable asset to our school district, this is a pipeline to keeping students in our public school systems, and instead, we can tweak it, we can find ways to keep it legal, we can go to the Attorney General and request an opinion from the Attorney General. Or was it just a blanket, it's illegal? How was it presented to you? And if it makes a big difference because that shows leadership. How informed were you of the importance of this program? Were you aware that the 3K program was created for this reason? Were you aware that now that the 3K program was there, their scores on the Mississippi Kindergarten Readiness Test have gone up to number 4 in the state? It's a successful program. Why scrap it? Now turning to the 4K classrooms.
How about what?
Um,
You're up to 4. I'm giving 30 a couple more seconds.
Okay, the PowerPoint that Mr. Belcher showed us at the community meeting, he used 2020 numbers, which is very misleading because those numbers are low. If you go back to the 2019 numbers, we had 115 students enrolled in our pre-K system. If you cut it down to 4 classrooms, crammed full of 20 students each, you are still leaving students out. And that 3 demographics of students you have. You have one group who can afford private school or relocation, and that's where they're going, and they're not coming out. And you lose them, and you lose the money that they would be bringing into our system. You lose students who can't qualify for Head Start and are depending on this, and you're telling them they're just out of luck. Or you have students who can qualify for Head Start, and you're telling them you can go there, you're not worth the 4K program. Those are the group, that's the message. That's the only message that's being presented to these families. And it's pushing parents out of the public school system, and it's gonna lead to a loss of a tax base. You're gonna have businesses that can't find employees because they can't bring them here because you don't have a viable pre-K program. Am I getting cut off?
Sorry. Yeah.
A lot more to go, but I did email some of you before I came. We have gotten $1 billion has been approved for Mississippi schools, and it specifically says it can be used for salaries, specifically. And I also want to address the fact that MDE has clarified that we have the Early Learning Collaborative is in 3 classrooms. It is at Bell and at Naylor and at Parks. The head of the Early Learning Collaborative in Jackson emailed me, and I forwarded that email to y'all. And she said that those 3 schools receive 1-to-1 state funding. And yet Dr. Belcher at the community meeting repeatedly told me that I was uninformed, that we only had 2 classrooms. Either he is misinformed, which is not okay for a superintendent to be misinformed, or he was intentionally misleading, and that's not okay either.
Dr. Davis?
Yes, sir. Can I see that?
Oh, no. Oh, you did it.
Ooh.
I mean, I can dress up and everything. I think this might be the first time I wore this jacket in probably a year or so.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Arnold. Ms. Arnold. I'm here too to echo a lot of the concerns that my fellow community member Sayward has. My name is Dr. Todd Davis. I'm an assistant professor here at Delta State, and I've been here for 13 years in this community. And I apologize, I haven't been here very much. But I haven't really needed to because I don't have a kid, but I do now. She's 5 years old and she attends Bell Academy under the supervision of Miss Tiffany Russell. She was part of the 4K program that is and was very successful at Bell. And I have some considerable concerns about disrupting any of our 4K programs at any of our schools for a couple of reasons. One, just like Ms. Sayward said, I mean, this is a pipeline. These kids are coming to our schools and they consistently will stay. There's a lot of data and evidence that supports that. In fact, a study done not long ago said 86% of students that are introduced to public schools stay in public schools. What I'm asking you tonight is to perhaps task the superintendent in the school district and the overly large staffed central office to look at some other aspects to reorganize. One, there's a growing concern right now among parents in our community that the resource center, the parent resource center, might not be a viable cost right now to maintain. Number two, determining whether the VOTEC Center could be paused until we get more students in our district that would utilize that asset. Number three, to reevaluate and perhaps reassess the decisions to have a separate administration oversee the alternative school that currently serves 6 students with 2 full-time teachers, 1 full-time counselor, an administrator, and a secretary in a separate building. As community members, we perceive this to be excessive and feel this could be absorbed into the administrative duties of the high school. Number 4, to reevaluate the need for computer lab education as a special program in our schools and move these to the libraries as an instructional resource center. Most of our classrooms already have computers, and time that could be integrated for day-to-day computer use could be a part of the classroom daily routine. This could save us tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, freeing up space and opportunities for our pre-K program. Number 5 is applying for the State Department of Education allowed 10-day waiver. This could ultimately save tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in utility costs, potential loss of attendance, transportation costs, food service expenses, plus keeping our faculty and staff an extra 14 days unnecessarily in the scorching summer after just weeks of the test being taken and given during the pandemic, I think would cause unnecessary stress, discontent, and education exhaustion. I'm asking you just to simply consider these things as reassessments. And of course, my letter is 4 pages long, but I only have 3 minutes. But I do want to thank you for your service to this school district.
Thank you.
Dr. Davis. Reverend Brad Corbin.
Good evening.
Wait.
My name is Brad Corbin. I'm the pastor at St. Luke United Methodist Church and Loyola United Methodist Church. Last year, St. Luke decided to close its after-school program that it had had for many years, partially because a lot of the public schools started to do their own after-school programs, which is great. We take part in that after-school program with my daughter, who is 4 years old and a student at Hayes Cooper. And so we pay some parental tuition to help pay for that after-school program. But I'm sure that that does not cover all the costs of that program. So it is a combination of private funds and public funds. And what I understand is that that's really the crux of the legality question around the 3K program, which my daughter also participated in and absolutely loved. So I really hope that we can get a very clear understanding of that, because is that if the 3K program is illegal because of it's a combination of private and public funds, is not the after-school program also illegal? My second point would be this. When I was a pastor in Star, Mississippi, I asked a member of my church, I said, you know what, Jim, I can mow my own lawn, so we're not going to pay you to mow the parsonage lawn anymore. Well, I didn't know this at the time, but that was a big no-no, because I'd essentially fired someone who expected that money. It was a really poor communication on my part. And what we feel like, what I think the the community feels like is that we've been communicated with very poorly on an issue a whole lot more important than somebody mowing the parsonage lawn. You understand what I'm saying? That this should have been communicated in writing. This should have been communicated clearly to parents who would be affected. And hopefully from the board, I just want to encourage y'all to make your phone numbers, if you're brave enough, and your email addresses available to the public. Because as a pastor, I have to communicate with my people as clearly as possible because I depend on their trust. I cannot do my job without their trust. And I would venture to say that you need the public's trust as well, and we want to give it to you. We just want you to communicate with us well and involve us in some of the decision making. Amen?
Amen.
All right, is that the last one?
That's the
Will?
last one, cabinet update. Oh, yeah, his proclamation, presentation.
Yeah, proclamation.
Well, how's everyone doing?
We've been-
So, I'm very happy to say that this is National School Board Appreciation Week. And, we have some fine board members. So, we put together a little something for the board members. Each school pitched in to appreciate our board members that we have, but I must read my proclamation. Whereas school board members are entrusted with the oversight of the maintenance, development, and operation of Mississippi's public education districts. And whereas school board members are responsible for ensuring the structure which provides a solid foundation to meet the educational needs of all students and to prepare them for future success. And whereas school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the stakeholders and the stakeholders' expectation to the district. And whereas school board members serve as a voice which enables each community to preserve local management and control of our public schools. And whereas school board service is an honor which carries significant responsibility to students, district staff, fellow board members, and larger community. And whereas school board members are responsible for entrusting that every available resource is identified and applied in order to maximize student success. Now thereof, I, Tate Reeves, Governor of the state of Mississippi, do hereby proclaim the week of February 8th through the 12th, 2021 as School Board Recognition Week.
Thank you.
Presentations from the school.
No,
Oh, wow.
fruit pie.
Beautiful.
Umbrella.
Right there.
Yeah, who? Thank y'all.
Oh, my gosh. Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Got a field in here, Bridget.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, look in.
Good gracious.
OMG. Well, you got a lot of stuff.
Lucille, don't nobody like it.
Y'all ain't good though. Huh? Yeah, no, y'all did.
Mr. Foley,
I got a whole bag full.
got my eyes on these two.
Yeah.
Well, well, again, we appreciate you. Every school pitched in to give the board members some stuff for the week, for Appreciation Week. We appreciate your service. And it's not a hard job. It's not an easy job.
Wow.
It's not an easy job. So I hope you appreciate the gift. So, as I start with the updates, about our district, we have our vision, we have our mission, we have our values, and we have our 7 fundamentals as a successful Wolfpack. We have 4 goals that we always attain by: student achievement, positive culture, community engagement, and employee retention, which are all 4 crucial things that we really need to have in order to have a successful school district. I will start by our administrator of the year and our teacher of the year. We do have our administrator of the year. You know I had that one. Ms. Noah is the principal at Naylor Elementary. Been doing a really good job. A lot of learning curve we had going on. Ms. Norwood, she stick it out with me. And we can see the progress within the school. Our teacher of the year, Miss Ashley Flint, which is teacher Hayes Cooper, and her boss is right here, Mr. Matt. Very good teacher, energetic, outspoken, and I don't mind that at all, but she gets the job done. They were all presented with surprise. They were surprised at their schools. They had no clue. Ms. Norwood actually thought somebody was in trouble. We made up a story. She got to the cafeteria, and then we were all down there, and it was pretty neat. So they're pretty good, really good actually. So we have a guest speaker. We have someone to introduce, Ms. Laura Bowman, which is the Cleveland-Bolivar County Chamber of Commerce CEO. So I have her here so she can introduce herself. She's new to the area.
Thank you. Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Laura Bowman. I was hired in November, mid-November, I think I came on board to the Chamber of Commerce as the new CEO. And so first off, I just wanted to come and introduce myself to all of you tonight. And I was just gonna pass out my phone number and contact information so that you have it. I've been meeting with Dr. Belcher. I think we're gonna try to meet monthly and just catch on what's going on. And so I'm very concerned about our public education and from a workforce standpoint. One of the favorite things I always like to tell people in education is I get asked when you're doing an RFI or someone's looking to come to the area from an industry standpoint, they want to know how many kindergartners do you have? Well, that's for a workforce standpoint, so they can know in the next 20, 25 years what their workforce is going to look like. So thank you. I'm so glad y'all are all being honored here tonight and for your service. And if I can be of any help or assistance to you, please email me. So I've got your contact information and look forward to getting to know each of you as well. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there were a slew of meetings this month that I had. We had a community meeting. I presented at the chamber with Mr. Fuller was there also. We presented there for about an hour, maybe more, to present to the chamber about the bond issue, about different things that's going on. And like Ms. Bowman said, we're trying to schedule to make sure that we have a monthly meeting, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, so we'll know what's going on both ends of the spectrum. Met with some local businesses this month pertaining to donating to our ELC. And so we got some really good feedback. Bolivar Medical, Quality Steel, Cleveland State Bank. There was another one. I can't remember. Baxter. I met with all those. I got some more meetings set up so that we can talk. They're all enthused, and we should know something in a couple weeks from what they were telling me. Federal programs audit. We had a federal programs audit. As you know, it's in your board packet. I think we did really good. That's the first one that they ever done virtual. So that was a long couple days. I sat in on it with Dr. Harris, and we did a really good job of finding things and making sure we were okay. You have the audit report in your package. We did a pretty good job. ESSA2. Everyone knows about the ESSA1 funds. That was the funds that we got when the pandemic first started and they gave us the money. So right now in ESSA1, we have a little over $127,000 remaining. We're gonna shift that money for some learning that we wanna do in the summertime and some more supplies, but we just got the allocation for ESSA2. ESSA2 came Saturday around afternoon. They sent an email. We're supposed to get $5.2 million for ESSA2, which it sounds like a lot, but there are so many stipulations centered around that money. Right now, only thing we know, something about clean air and something about learning loss. Those are the only two things right now that we know we can spend the money on. They have not had a webinar about it yet. So as soon as they have a webinar and we know, we'll let you know.
And this money came from the first CARES Act, second CARES Act.
The second one. And then they just passed the $1.9 trillion thingy over the weekend, I believe, and we don't know what that money is actually gonna be used for. So it sounds like a lot of money, but we don't know all the stipulations that you can spend the money on. So you don't wanna go out there and just say you're gonna do this right now. You just gotta wait until the webinar and you fill out the application and you wait for them to say yeah or nay.
Someone is with the Department of Education and they're gonna decide where.
Yes, Department of Education is gonna decide where this money can and cannot be spent. And also, for the meetings, we did even meet with, MDE as well. We met with them. And, the application for the ELC has not come out yet, so we're waiting on that to come out as well. P16 is hosting a code drive at the Parent Center. So that will be coming up. Miss Patsy Clerk is the contact for that, and she can let you know about that. It's gonna be cold in the next couple days. Wireless upgrades are almost complete. We are very close to almost completing that. And we used, what was the E-Cred money for that. And we also did some things with the SO1 money, switches, routers, all kinds of things that we needed to upgrade in order to make our infrastructure very strong. Can't have all the devices if you don't have the infrastructure. Bus rebate program, it assists with purchasing new buses. Thank Mr. Boggs for sending me some information, and we got on that, so we completed that. We're waiting on the results from it. It should be coming here soon. Report cards go out February 11th, which is Thursday. Accelerated reading. This has become a thing for us. We read the books. And some people don't understand why we do it. It's a bit of a competition. Some people have become very, very competitive at this. And people do not like to lose. So the principals do not know who wins or loses until this day. So they have no clue. I cut the sheet off. We do a tally, but I cut the sheet off so they can't see it. So the district first semester, words read, we read 144 million words for the first semester, which is a good feat. That's a lot. Books read, we read 90,000 books for the first semester. Our comprehension rate is 79.71% comprehension. Our goal is 85%, but we're in front of where we were last year at this time. Most words read for second 9 weeks. Third place, Mr. Whitehead is not here. Third place is the middle school. They read 12,282,026 words. That's a lot. Second place, Bell Academy. 15,403,896. If y'all don't know Ms. Russell hates to lose. She hates to lose. So
I know more than this, Nick.
First place, Pyramid Elementary. 41,758,486. So when you get first place, you also get a belt, and you get your certificate. So the rule about the belt is you keep the belt every 9 weeks. So he keeps it for the whole third 9 weeks. At the end of the third 9 weeks, if you do not win, you have to give the belt up. Okay. Second, most books read for second 9 weeks. Third place is D.M. Smith. 7,948 books. Second place is Pyramid. 8,966 books. And the whopping first place is the middle school, 17,969 books. So you can tell we are reading the books. We are reading and reading and reading. It's going to help later on.
Question.
Yes.
High school not in
Yeah, they ain't. They
there.
just.
I'm good with that.
Highest comprehension. For third place, Naylor. 85.11%. When we first started, some people were saying Naylor will never win. They'll never win. They're so small. She's won 2 9 weeks in a row. Second place, Bell Academy. 87.87%. That's 2. First place, Hayes Cooper. 91%. She gets the belt. So we do this every 9 weeks. Every 9 weeks we start over 0. Every 9 weeks we start over 0. So it's pretty good, and it's a good competition for everybody, but the end goal is to make the kids read more books, to read more words. Therefore, when they get to the test, they're not afraid of the passage, because there are passages on the test. You read all the time, it gets normal for you. It's just the way of life. So, second part of it is the business department update.
Financials for December 2020. The bank reconciliations for district maintenance, you had 8.7 million on hand as of December 31st, 2020. Payroll had 521,000. Accounts payable was in the negative because the money got transferred after the close of business day, but it has since been transferred. And it's a clearing account, nothing stays there but the bill money. Food service has 379,000 on hand at the end of December. Analysis of your fund balance for all funds as of December 31st, 12.4 million. Last year, this time, we had about 10.6 million, just a difference of 1.8 million. The district itself, as of December 31st, has 6.9 million. Last year, this time, we had 5.6 million, a difference of 1.3 million. Okay. Your statement of revenues and receipts. Statement of revenues through December 2020 had 13.1 million. Last year, this time, we had a little over 15 million, a difference of 129,000. Your statement of expenditures through December 31st, 2020, you spent about 16.4 million. Last year's time spent about 16.7 million, so down a little bit. Any questions on the financials?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
And you have the rest of the presentation in your packet. If there's no questions, that concludes my superintendent report.
All right, can I get approval on the cabinet update? Can I get a second? Been motion and second to approve cabinet update. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approval of consent agenda.
I have a couple of questions on the consent agenda.
All right,
I think it was the soccer team that had the SNAP fundraiser. What account is this money linked to? Because it says it's like a GoFundMe account, so what account is this money going to?
Activity, your activity fund.
It's going directly to the district their activity fund within the district, okay. Okay, that's the only thing I have for the consent.
all right, can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, been motion, can I get a second?
I second it.
Tanya seconded it, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, set date and time for next regular board meeting, March 15th at 6 p.m.
Hold on.
Monday, March 15th.
I guess we gotta wear green at St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Or that's the 4th.
I think
That's
so,
17th.
man.
I'm good with it.
Everybody else checking the calendar?
I think I'm good with it.
You good with it, Tony?
Yes, I'm good with it.
Todd, you all right? All right, can I get a motion to that effect?
Make the, go ahead, Tom. Second.
Been motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approve of claims docket. Got
I
any
a couple
questions? Water bill, one of them, man.
I didn't have the water bill, but I'm sure it needs to be looked at.
You get something thousands of dollars for some reason.
Give me a minute to pull it up here. One of them is the water bill.
Mm-hmm.
What school was that at?
Cleveland Central, I think.
The water bill.
$1,000-some water bill.
The city of Cleveland.
What's good? The high school.
High school, I think.
You know, we did have a water leak at the loading dock. They've been changing the meters out. I didn't get in contact with the city and also Ely engineers to inform them to come and repair that leak. And they're supposed to be making adjustments to the bill.
All right, please make sure that we follow up on that.
Yes, sir.
I got page 40. It would be page 40 on your document, not on ours. You looking at that, Ms. Harris?
Ms. Harris?
I'm sorry.
Ms. Kennedy.
I don't have.
We got it. What's your question? We're looking at.
Question is, page 40, Presbyterian Day School, $4,410.
That would be, that's coming from the ELSA. That's coming from ELSA 1, and you know we had to, give the private schools a portion, and MDE tells us what that portion
Yeah.
is, and 4,000 of that was left off of the amount that they had
Of the
originally
allowance.
given us, yes. So
Okay,
we
so-
have receipts, invoices, everything.
That's fine, I mean, I just was wondering why we paid it. Presbyterian, I just wanted an explanation on that. Also on page 40, it says Presentation Solutions, $6,514.
Yeah, it's for some equipment. This is out of the,
The seed.
this is the school improvement grant that they
Okay.
get.
Okay. Page 47. University of Oregon, $350.
High school, Williams license.
With
That is the
license.
PBIS, software that the high school
Is
is
using.
purchasing
Okay.
out of title funds.
Mr. President, that's all I have on the claims docket. Anybody else may have?
Any more
something?
questions? I get approval on the claims docket?
Make the motion to approve.
Get a second? Been motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, obtain liability insurance, Cleveland Certified Nurse Assistant, CNA Certification Program.
Is this, okay, this liability insurance for the group, or is it for individuals?
For their class, that he'll sign.
It's for everybody, it's just for that class?
Yeah, anytime cause they're A, in order to get those clinical hours, they have to have proof of, the school has to have proof of liability insurance for those students.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't paying that per student.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay.
That's the overall,
That was
Okay.
my main concern too.
We never already have a liability insurance policy to cover
not for that piece,
excess.
not for that piece. And we did get with our insurance person, Mr. Mutual, so he did verify that we would need that piece for those children to get those, to be in those clinical settings for the CNA program.
Well,
You
that's,
said that, cause I just didn't know if we had excess coverage where we could add those.
let's make sure when we give him to quote that next year that this is already included in our massive
Got it.
quote.
All right.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
I make the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approving the liability insurance, approve of district to switch to Marathon from Ivy Core. Can I get a motion to table that?
I'll make the motion to table next board meeting.
Been motion second to table, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approve to reimburse MDE for questionable cost of $517 to State Treasurer Fund 3201, item not located during federal program's monitoring visit. In a motion?
I make the motion.
Oh.
To
But
approve.
we do not have a choice. I would like to personally thank all my principals, directors, everybody at central office. We could not have done this without everybody's help. I would like to say that this was the second, monitoring I came in on. We had 171 indicators. Out of the 171 indicators, everything was fine except one. That was fixed asset. Anytime we buy, purchase technology, et cetera, we have to have it in the place where it was purchased. We did not find one item, and we have to pay that money back. Once we pay that money back, we would have satisfied the monitoring. correcting all indicators.
All right. Can I get a motion to that effect?
My question is, have we found that item yet?
No,
Know where it's
that's
at?
reported as a loss, so we have to pay it back. How they do it, they will pick items, they don't tell us. So they'll say, we need equipment with asset number 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was virtual, so we had to have a camera to show the equipment. That was one of the pieces of equipment we couldn't find.
These assets has been a pain point for this board for as long as I've been on the board.
Mr. Wade has done an exceptional job with it.
Fix the problem so we
We're gonna hold
can.
Yes, it's the first district I've ever been in, where we only had one. That's
Well,
awesome.
we want zero.
We do, I
We want
want zero
zero.
indicators.
Well, we pay
Corrective action.
we don't have zero,
We
right?
will.
Okay, pay it.
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to that effect?
Go ahead.
I make the motion, I make the motion to approve.
Second.
Been motion second, all those in favor?
Ah,
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approval of MOU to partner with Mississippi Delta Junior College Dual Enrollment, Dual Credits Program. And a motion to that effect?
Make a motion, we approve it.
Let me question that, please, if I may. Once upon a time, we could only do dual enrollment with one school at a time. Or do we have a partnership with Delta State? Now you can have as many as you please? Okay.
Yes.
Arnold, you've read this, and it's,
I've looked at it, there's one or two things that I wanted to get with Ms. McCarty about, but pending that resolve, I think we're good to go.
so, make the motion pending Arnold's review, council's review. All right, go ahead, Tanya.
I make the motion pending, Attorney, Arnold's review.
All right,
Second.
motion and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approving for Pyramid Booster Club and Parental Engagement Committee to issue monetary donations to Pyramid to assist with beautification of the campus.
Arnold, you've looked at this also? Can we approve it with your purview?
For some reason, I think I looked at this and it was okay, but one more approval, can you give me a date?
Yeah, I just don't wanna make sure that we're not committing the board to something that's, I mean, it looks very straightforward to me, but, we don't wanna get to a matching funds or anything.
No, it's not a matching fund, it's just a matter of some of the projects that they had included. I need to make sure that they're tied to the school, but I think they can still do it. Like one of them's removal of some of the changes to some of the gutters. So I don't know that we can really allow that.
Okay? I can
So I
make
just
that.
need to approve that part of it.
I make the motion to approve pending council's review.
All right, been motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of a revised after-school program for Pyramid to be paid through the School Improvement Grant, SIG, funds FY 2021 to finance salaries and supplies for teachers and transportation of buses. Financed by SIG. Can I get a motion?
I'm good with it. I'll make the motion to approve.
I second it.
Been motion and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approved for federal programs to advertise for contractual services and web license for the 21-22 school year.
This is just to advertise, correct?
Correct.
Well, we get better responses than you got. I make a motion, we approve it.
Now, can I get a second?
Second.
Been motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval for technology department to place bids, notices for the category 2 E-rate funding for the 21-22 school year.
What's that gonna be?
That's that, federal money that we get from E-rate, pays for the internet and the, other upgrades that we, have planned.
Is this just our standard E-rate?
This is our standard E-rate. This is the category 2 that pays for equipment. We're looking at, trying to possibly add some, network support services, under the E-rate, so it'll be, reimbursed 85%.
That's good. Make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Been motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval for MOU with Incorporating Schools for Student Internship with Delta State University Office of Clinical Experience, licensure and accountability for spring 2020.
Arnold, you have gone
I have
over this
looked
pretty
at this.
thoroughly.
I have looked at this one, this one's fine.
It's MOU for student teachers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the second year.
All those in favor?
Ah, you didn't get no motion.
Go, gonna get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Get a second? And motion and seconded, all those in favor?
Ah,
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of personnel agenda, resignation, retirements, employee recommendations, and current vacancies.
Sure. Before we do that, have we got something in place so that we don't get caught again, not having a valid MOU?
Yeah, we met, and that was one of the things we met with Delta State. Ms. Thompson already, we set the meeting up. We're almost in the final stages of getting the MOU that'll be done annually. So we won't miss out again.
So it automatically renews?
No, we'll review it every year.
Okay.
but it'll be part of our August
It'll be
package.
part of it. Be part of something we do every year.
All right. Approval of personnel agenda, resignation, retirements, employee recommendations, and current vacancies. Anybody got any problem or questions?
I just got, on these release of contracts, we got two on there.
Numbers 4 and 9.
4 and 9.
If they got,
I have 4, 6, 7, and 9.
Yeah.
Y'all want to pull those off?
Yes.
Yeah, let's leave
Of
that.
course,
4, 6, 7, and 9.
just, you wanna put a whole thing?
You
Put a
can.
whole thing.
I mean, it's not that many on there.
Yeah, just to cover it, so, because somebody may have another question.
And I also wanted to add something that was on the bank reconciliation, the return check.
Turn shit.
We're not gonna put that in personnel, or you can put that in executive session.
Yeah, well, we're taking personnel as executive.
Yeah,
It's something ongoing from last
Okay,
month.
okay.
You wanna add?
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's something going on from last month.
all right, can I get a motion to move personnel to executive session?
So move.
All right, all in favor?
Ah,
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, can I get a motion to consider executive session?
I make a motion to consider.
Can I get a second?
second.
A motion second to consider executive session. Stated reasons for executive session is personnel, legal matters, student misconduct, and
Finance. Is it finance, Ms. Short?
finance, Ms.
Yes.
Short. Can I get a motion for those stated reasons?
Make the motion.
Second.
A motion second to go into executive session. All those in favor?
Ah.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take about a 5-minute break.